is May 5th. The Yankees sweep the Detroit Tigers. That doesn't even take all the innings available. They have now won their 8th series, their 2nd sweep of the season, and some good stuff to discuss.
Recaps galore, weekly awards, headlines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talkin' Yanks with old Jomboy, Jomboy and Jake. Talkin' Yanks with old Jomboy, Jomboy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. Producer BBD with us on the ones and twos, and we are talking about the Yankees who got the sweep. Jake, how goes it?
Jimbo Davis going well, man. Yankees bounce back after that Baltimore series where had us asking some questions again. They sweep the Tigers, who have gone off to a decent start this season. I was pretty nervous for Skubal today, just because he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. I know he's not the name yet that people probably consider with Verlanders and guys like that. They're old now. But, man, they did enough. Nestor did enough. They got it done late. The rain came. Aaron Judge is the bad boy of baseball. The Knicks are rolling. The Rangers are rolling. We're rolling. So I'm good, man. How are you?
I am doing well. Doing good. Good. Skubal, no problem. They can hit fastballs now. So get out of here. Tarek. Is it Tariq? I always say
Tarek
it
like Derek.
Tarek like Derek. Yeah, it was a good series. They hadn't swept since the first series of the season. Sweeps are very hard to come by, so it's pretty cool. I was glad they just called it and we didn't have to sit through like coming back after the rain delay and all that. That would have been a bummer.
Right? What do you, man, I tweeted it out and I got mixed emotions from both sides, which usually means a good thing. I think both teams were ready to end this. Tigers were down 3, and it was the bottom of the 8th. Yankees trying to save their bullpen, and they have an off day tomorrow. If they had, when the rain was starting to get there in the 8th inning, if the Yankees said, hey, we play you guys in August, you get 1 free run, let's just bang this now and call it. Good idea, bad idea.
We play you in August, you get 1 free run. So the Tigers we're gifting the Tigers 1 run.
We're giving the Tigers a run to just end this game. Like, everyone can go home. You can travel. We don't have to use a bullpen arm in the 9th.
I don't like that.
Okay. What if it was still in rain delay right now and they were waiting to play till like 7 p.m. tonight?
I don't like that as a Yankees fan. I'm surprised that Hinch and the Tigers didn't fight to keep this game going.
Right.
Like,
does anyone know the rules on that still?
I think the opposing manager can fight tooth and nail. But usually both managers have to meet in the middle with the umpires and shake hands. They usually show it happening.
Well, that's what they kind of did. They did it at the end of the game, and they were both out there with the umps. And I don't know, part of me thinks that kind of went down. And they were like, hey, let's drag this out for an hour and then start packing your bags.
Yanks didn't have many options left in the pen.
Right.
So, like, we were told, hey, just go early. And me and BBD were like, no way, dude. I don't trust us. Like, I think that we're going to win, but there's 5% chance something crazy happens, and I don't want to. So I thought the Tigers would never call it. Especially when you're like, you have an off day tomorrow, Yankees.
Right.
Like, what do you fucking care? That if I was Hinch, that's what my plan would have been. So I was surprised.
Yeah. Okay. I'm putting that as a half feather in my hat for the theory.
I wouldn't want it to affect a game that far away.
Okay.
With like, you have different personnel, different rosters, all that.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm glad they called it. They should have called it earlier. being honest. As soon as Soto hit the home run, the 3-run double, should have just been a walk-off.
Again, that's where I think open negotiations, 1 run, we would already record this. You would already left a great review on the episode.
Yeah, but then like something happens where the Rays call all their games, and in September they have a 1-run lead to start every game, and you're like, who let this happen?
Rays are going to race, but they're not even a part of this season, Jim. You know that.
I know. Neither are the Blue Jays.
They might be. Let's see what happens in the rest of their one. But let's not talk about them at all, actually.
I have a great trade offer for the Blue Jays.
Okay.
And I can't wait. I mean, I already told you about it. It's awesome. You give us Jordan Romano and Chad Green, and we promise to not run the price up on you on a player like IKF ever again.
I want to shake your hand.
Basically, used car salesman them. The hell out of them.
Okay.
All right, let's do the burns of the game 1. Well, groundskeeping.
Yes. Groundskeeping brought to you by Ball and Play. Jim, tell them.
The Ball and Play League starts tonight, 8 p.m., warehouse games. Team baggage. We are in game 1. We did not score any points in the first tournament of the Warehouse Cup. We're looking to do so. Each team is joined by a professional cricket player. That's a hybrid game of baseball/cricket that fits inside our cement box of a warehouse. And game 1 is tonight at 8 against Joe's McFly and his squad, Del Caribe. So go tune into that after you're done watching this, if you're with us live. It's pretty good. And groundskeeping.
Birdie.
Birdie returns. John Birdie returns. Nick Birdie commenced his rehab. DJ hit a little bit yesterday and today, but they don't know if he's close to being ready for rehab because he's not.
Right.
That means he's not. To translate Boone for you. Yeah, he hit and threw today, but I don't know if he's close to being ready for that rehab. Means he's not close to being ready for that rehab.
Only because he's been hitting and throwing for the past month and a half now. When
he should have just sat down for 4 weeks straight, probably like the doctor told him to do. Same thing with Greg Bird, whatever. It's so silly what's happening here. Stop hitting and throwing and rest. Maybe. I don't know. I don't see your foot. Garrett Cole threw off a mound Saturday for the first time. He threw 15 pitches, all fastballs, so don't get worried, and no issues afterwards. That's basically it. That's all the groundskeeping you need to know about.
I think pitcher Birdie was supposed to throw today in AA, AAA, but it got rained out.
Yes.
They tweeted that he commences a rehab assignment, but it sounds like the game didn't happen.
Yes.
Find out.
I was all over the commencement.
You love a good commencement.
I do. So that's the groundskeeping.
Okay.
Cold news is good, but again, I mean, you're looking mid-July, so they're going to go slow with that.
The Yankees will take all the time they need. They already think they have a playoff team, which is their goal going into a season, so they will do everything to keep Garrett Cole healthy. That's all they care about.
That is true. All right, game number 1. I mean, I don't really remember this at all, so I'm excited for your burn.
Marcus Stroman and the Yankees would hope to get fat and happy eating some Reese's against Olsen and his Tigres. We got zeros on the board through 5 until Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. Tigers RBI walk by Colt Keith. That ends Stroman's day. 5.1, 1 earned run, 5 walks again. And Marcus would owe Hammy a steak. Gets out of the bases loaded jam. It's 1-0 Tigers. It'd stay that way until the 9th when they'd tell closer Jason Foley to go live in a van down by the river. Judge single, Doogie bunt single. Giancarlo from the windows to the wall. Rizzo gets enough on that ball. Oh, them Tigers fall. Oh, skeet, mother... Stroman to Hammy to Gonzo to Santana. Yanks walk it off 2-1 final.
Oh, wow. What a theme.
You know, you're here, you're there, and then you're there.
Roy Kent.
Clark
This
Kent.
game, man, good ending. I missed it. Basically, like, this game was walked into the theater. They were like, Luke, I am your father. And I was like, whoa, awesome. What happened before this? Anything cool? And everyone in the theater was like, nah. It's just real slow burn for a nice build up at the end. I just dead. And for some reason, when it came to that ninth inning and Judge got on, I was like, they're going to win this game.
Okay.
Just because it just was like that they were dead. And then a leadoff runner was like, well, they're still in it.
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted out after, and I do believe in it. Like these Yankees, and maybe again, I'm trying to find the line of where we're being obnoxious Yankee fans, but at the same time, last year was one of the worst seasons ever. And the previous teams, you know, we've had some hesitations about them, more so 2021. But like, you know, this team has the double play ball. This team just lost to Baltimore. I think you were saying, what were they coming into this series? They were 10-11 in their last 21.
Yep.
So, you know, there were still some hesitations for a team that has a very good record, but you could also point, like, Judge hasn't gone yet and things like that, that when they put this together in the ninth, it was like, you know what? Every time this team has kind of been up against the wall a little bit, they have answered. So, you know, this game where if they lost this, it would have been 4 out of 5, and Baltimore just beat us up. And I think they had 2 hits heading into the ninth inning where they put up 4 straight hits, no outs to win the game. So it's like, all right, man, I'll mess around with this.
Yeah, and it was only a 1-0 game, but Stroman ended his outing with 3 straight walks, and the last one walked in a run. Hamilton finishes that inning, starts the next. He gets hit single. So you're like, man. It felt that combination of those, the top of the 6th, top of 7th, felt worse than what like actually happened, because Gonzo comes in to replace Hamilton, walks the first batter he faces, but then gets the ground ball out to end the inning. So it was all, I was like, oh, wait, they did hold them to 1. Yeah, Judge is on base. Let's do it. And then the Verdugo bunt was awesome because he lays down bunt on the first pitch, fouls it back, I think, or did he just pull it back? I forget. Then takes a huge swing. So he must have pulled the bunt back. Then took a huge swing. And then was like, I don't know if that was a bait swing. I don't think it was a bait swing, but clearly the Tigers then like shifted a little more, which opened up the bunt for a bunt single now.
Yeah, Alex Verdugo, who's been one of the best, most consistent hitters for the Yankees this season. And yeah, I think this was either called, or I don't know how the Yankees do it, but we've seen this in previous years. If you remember, I think Jose Trevino was in a situation like this. He showed bunt, it went 2-0, they green lit him, and he actually hit into a double play, and it was like, damn. That I think the Yankees believe in that. I think if there's a bunt situation and it's there, they'll allow you to do it. But if you get that 2-0 count, I don't know if they think it's sneaky or, hey, if you get a fastball, let it eat and we'll get a good result. But yeah, to then do that and then lay down the perfect bunt. Credit to Verdugo, because also everyone yells bunt. Bunting ain't easy, especially off a closer that, you see once a year and throws high 90s. And yeah, once the bunt got down, it was like, okay, see ya, Tigers.
This is really cool. I hope I can, I don't know if I can send this to Beebs or not. I don't know, but I'm looking at where the hitters were placed. So on that 2-0 pitch, the huge swing, even though it's 2-0, the third baseman's in on the grass protecting the bunt. Then he takes the huge swing at the 2-0 pitch, and the third baseman basically is on the grass, but scoots all the way over to shortstop, as if the shortstop was playing in, because the shortstop was playing behind second base. So he just, like, I don't think he swung at the 2-0 thinking, hey, this could open up the bunt later. I think he's trying to hit a home run.
Yeah.
But now that he didn't hit the home run, they took advantage of the shift, or Verdugo did, and then put it on. That's really cool. I like that. I'm into it.
Shout out to Hammy. I don't know if he's getting talked about later, but Stroman kind of loses it again right at the end of his start where he's going clean and then just fades, and the walk monster is there. Been tough on Hammy lately, and he gets out of that inning. He gets into a little trouble the next, but, getting out of that inning saved the game.
Yeah. We just need strikeout guys. I thought he was going to be a strikeout guy. So I'm kind of coming to grips with, like, okay, he's that guy. I need him to be not that guy, though. And that game 3 ties into that as well.
Yeah.
But this was nice. Also, Stan, first ball, he got a hit off that was over 95 miles per hour pitch, 97 mile per hour fastball that Stan gets a hold of on the double, and then does it in his next at bat to start the game, get 2. So there was a couple things where like, that's good.
Yeah, 115 off the stick. I mean, just literally blocks it and goes the other way, but it's an absolute bullet. So
that's what he does. All right, game number 2.
Here we go. Here's some defensive alignment.
Yeah, so you see so that's the bunt, the gray dot in on the grass. And then, but the pitch before the 2-0, he was at third base, basically on the grass. Pretty cool. Gotcha, dummies.
Fools, Tigers.
Game number 2, Saturday in the Bronx.
Could Clark and the Yankees build off last night's heroics, which would hopefully lead to the Casey demise of Detroit? For Clark, it's not easy being green. Riley clips him in the first, but the old Bash Bros have his back. Stanton RBI single, Judge RBI double. It's 2-1 Yankees until Rizzo, watch that baseball go away from home. It's a 3-run shot. It's 5-1 Yanks. The Tigers would claw back with RBIs from Keith and Veerling. Fun fact, I used to work with a Keith Veerling. How do you like that? 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks, no walks from Schmidt. It's 5-3, and it'd stay that way until the fat lady sung. The Ferg is back. Luke Dreamweaver is right, and these clay homes are well built. 4 shut from the pen as the Yanks win the ball game and the series, even though the bad boy of baseball, Aaron Judge, gets tossed. It's a 5-3 final.
Judge getting tossed? Whoa. Unbecoming of a Yankee captain. Jeter never got tossed his whole career. So, wow.
Can you imagine the letter that MLBPA got from the Yankees today?
Maybe to rescind the captain badge?
I mean, the Yankees are genuinely furious.
Yeah. Don't eject the captain.
Well, Judge can't act all, he can't show up and ump like that.
Yeah. I mean, Judge did say the magic word, so I've done a 1,000 ejection videos before. If you say the word "you," it's automatic. And I think Judge knows that. So, not that I agree with it being automatic if you say the word "you," but even Dale Scott, who came on Talking Base and told us, as soon as that word is uttered, you're ejected. So, when you read his lips and you see it, it's like, oh yeah, they eject you if you say that. So he said, "You've been bullshit all game." And you can see the umpire later on say, "You can't tell me I've been bullshit." Shrug, stupid. He's walking away. He's not. I never really got that, to be honest, when they're like, he's walking away. He's not showing you up. It's like, do you think the crowd's dumb? We think he's walking away. We think the crowd is, oh, wow, Judge was just walking away. His neck wasn't turned and he wasn't uttering how he was displeased with the call because he was walking. Like, I understand you can't turn around and like show up and up and then it's going to cause a scene, but it's not like, Jeter and Judge, like, they still talk shit to umps all the time.
Yes,
the crowd knows that.
It's literally the visual of it. For the people in the bleachers that can't see, and the ump thinks I'm not getting shown up. It's literally all about the ump's feelings, which is crazy.
It is crazy, but gets ejected. Soft. Judge was awesome about it in his post game. Obviously, very respectful. Very respectful. And what else from this game? I mean, Judge gets in play. The lineup goes back to Verdugo cleanup. Last game as well. Cabrera batting ninth. Nothing really there. It's still the same lineup. I mean, they still got good hits in this game.
Yeah, they were on Mize. They got all 9 of their hits off Mize, none off of Holton and Vest in the bullpen. So they were on him, and the offense was like fun and active for the first half of the game, which, again, trying to build off only the 9th inning last night, and this offense that has a little bit of the turn off and turn on. To see some crooked numbers early was nice. Clark battles through 5 again. That's kind of been where he's been at this year.
Yeah, I'm not to shit on Clark, but I thought they were speaking about Clark's outing in a way that it wasn't. Even the next, like in the post game too. Like, that's not a good outing from Clark. 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs is not a good start. I mean, you're not getting length there, or like if you're only going 5, it's got to be like 2 or 1 earned run. So it's not a horrible start because you keep you in the game, but that's like Clark's start, and he needs to get it through the 6th inning pretty desperately. Like that's when I graduate on Clark and I'm get excited about him. Otherwise he's just making a stud out of Weaver. But yeah, you can't just go 5 innings, 3 earned isn't the start I thought they were acting like it was.
Yeah, it's kind of in between, if we're being honest. 6 and 3 feels a lot different, and it literally gets the quality start tab. Where if it's 5 and 4, it feels like a dud. I mean, it's for what Clark's supposed to be, a 4th or 5th start in a rotation. It's a little bit of a shrug.
I guess my expectations are different. I thought he was supposed to be better than that.
Where do you have him in the Yankees rotation if Cole's healthy?
Well, I don't know, but you don't aspire to be a 4th or 5th. Like a 4th or 5th comes and goes. Like I have Clark as like supposed to graduate to being front end starter.
Yeah, I would love if he does that, but he hasn't.
Yeah, so my expectations isn't that. It's good for who you are. It's like, no, we need you to graduate to get tackling that.
It would be great if he does, but I mean, coming off the offseason where we did the whole, hey, who's going to be in the Soto trade? Is it King or Clark? And then we were like, well, King is definitely the upside guy there. I would love it. He's definitely being more aggressive, which is good. Like no walks in this start, and his last Orioles start I like too. But yeah, he has to take that step, and I don't think he has.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah. but the people are still talking about him like he's last year's Clark. Where I'm like, no, this was like golf claps. Good job, rookie year. Like, all right, like it's this year. It's like let's get it going. Come on. Bullpen needs some help. If they're going to be patient with Cole and, wait 2 more months, then let's push Clark to tackle the 6th inning problem.
Now, this is a rental bullpen, so they're just going to burn them out.
I don't know. I hope so, but I don't think so. I think they're going to get like one good reliever and then hope out of Canely, Efros, Trevino, someone is like pitching well, and then they move Clark or Keel to the rotation.
Yep.
To the bullpen, I mean. But it'd be Heel.
You'd think.
Yeah. Rizzo with the fake out homer got K. and then smashed a real one.
Redemption.
That was nice.
Redemption.
Anything else? I don't think so.
I don't think so. We've looked great. The whole bullpen looked great.
Weaver's awesome. You see his post-game interview? I didn't realize he was a cool dude, too.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. That was part of the Yankees spring training when they were doing those, like, answer the question on the boards. Weave's a cool boy.
Yeah. I didn't know all that. Like, oh, shit. Good stuff. Weave. Game 3. Sweep. In the city before the off day. In the middle of the homestand, which is weird.
Nestor and the Yankees would hope to go scuba diving, looking for a sweep against Tarek in Detroit. In the bottom of the first, the judge finds you guilty on 1 count of meat. Solo homer to right. It's 1-0 Yanks. It's down the... Wait, is he down the line to right, bouncing into the stands? There's Waldo. RBI ground rule double. It's 2-0 Yanks in the second. It stayed that way into the 7th. Scuba was nasty, and so was Nestor. 6.1, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks. Hammy Houdini can't get it done this time, but the Magic Man can. S-O-T-O, Soto. Bases clearing, 3 RBI double. Good 5-2 to make it 5-2 and let the rain fall down and end the sweep. Yankees sweep the Tigers. Cortes, Hammy, Gonzo, Santana. Let's go Yanks.
Boom. Judge's homer here was like Stan's earlier in the series, 97 in the zone. Just like that's Judge's swing. He's fully on time. So couple games in a row where he looked better. And then Cabrera hits another one down the line, like the Baltimore homer you saw, where he's just kind of like getting them right in there. I really liked what I saw out of Birdie and Trevino versus Skubal too.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Scuba literally, he threw a tantrum in the dugout after Oswaldo got him, and then he really locked in, and you saw why he's one of the Cy Young favorites this year. 1.9 ERA on the season for him, 12 strikeouts at the end of the day, no walks. And yeah, if that Oswaldo ball, it kicks off the top corner of the wall, Birdie would have scored on that easily, which would have been nice to have that third run a little earlier, and I was having a second when they tie it up where it's like, damn, that run could have been important. But we have Juan Soto. So that's the big thing.
That's the big thing, and a nice Volpe walk to pass the baton to Soto, make them go to the bullpen, which is a tough move in that game to bring in a new pitcher with the bases loaded when the ball's wet and the mound is a slosh pit of mud. We heard Coney explain to Girardi in the Baltimore series. I loved it. Girardi was like, why our first inning's tougher? And they're like, well, you face the better part of the lineup. And Coney was also like, also the mound. You know, you got to find where you're going to land in the mound, where you're going to fall. Like each mound is different and they got different grooves. And then relief pitchers, they don't have a choice. Like if you come in after CeCe, you're going to have a big old lefty foot divot wherever CeCe's been landing all game. So something relief pitchers kind of just have to be able to do. But Chapin comes in there, wet balls, mud pit mound, bases loaded. Don't throw balls to the best eye in the game. Tough assignment, man. And he tries to open him up with a slider and it like slips out of his hand. See later in the inning that he has no feel for the slider at all. So then he's just got to go fastballs. And Soto knows that when he's 2-1, he's not going to try and throw another breaking pitch. And Soto is just like ready for it. Runner's clear. His Volpe's at first. His speed comes into play. That was a good walk by Volpe because it set up just a losing situation for the whatever pitcher they were going to call out to come in that at bat.
Man, Andrew Chafin is this is a guy who's been in the major leagues a while as a lefty reliever, 11 years. I think lefties against him this year were 1 for 14 before Soto. But it's just kind of how you've noted, and I think seeing Judge and now Soto, if you're one of the best in baseball, when the relievers come out and they're 2-pitch relievers, the advantage tips in their favor just a little more. Like unless you're an extreme, like if you're a sidewinding righty against Judge and that's your game, or a sidewinding lefty against Soto and that's your game. But yeah, I mean, Soto even gets down, and I think that ball's low, but Soto gets down there, hooks it down the line, hitter count, and that opened up the sky.
Yep. And Birdie and Trevino, I mean, the bottom of the lineup, Birdie, Trevino, Cabrera, 4 hits in this game, 1 walk. They're on base a lot. They set up a couple of those rallies.
Yeah, I mean, and it's fun to see. Birdie goes to steal second on Rogers, who doesn't have a good history of throwing out base runners. And Trevino, who is a very good bat to ball, just slaps it, and it turns into a beautiful hit and run. So that was cool to see. And just probably not even for this episode, but looking forward to talking Yanks, and if DJ's foot ever gets better or whoever it is in the Yankees lineup. I think it was Girardi last series who alluded to it, that it was like, Volpe ahead of Soto and Judge is a little bit of a waste because he's not going to be allowed to steal ever. And that's kind of one of those head tilt things that, depending how the season looks, a bottom of the lineup Volpe could make a lot more of an impact somewhere else, potentially, depending how he looks.
He doesn't look good, so they're going to have to make a change soon. This isn't working for him. I don't know how big the sample needs to get,
right?
Or what options need to present themselves to switch it up. But again, not a great series for Volpe. So offensively,
we'll mention some things to Boone on Tuesday with some statistics, maybe.
Maybe
not that changing the lineup works unless you change it and it does work.
6-hole Rizzo, 4-hole Verdugo sure seems to be working like crazy.
And Rizzo gets his first day off today.
Oh, yeah.
Double off day. So I like that.
I do appreciate that. They don't have anyone that can spell him. Oswaldo goes to first, didn't notice it at all.
Yeah.
Did that come
there was,
not in a good or a bad way? So that's good.
There was one play to Birdie at third. And Birdie's a good third baseman. I think it was probably just a nice hop. But I was like, oh, nice pick as well, though. You don't play first a lot. So
okay.
I saw him make a nice attempt at a foul ball. So that's
okay.
That's
how
I
got one of those early.
That's how I watched the game.
Rizzo's been playing a lot, and they don't have a lot of personnel to spell him. So the fact that they were able to get Birdie back and give Rizzo the double off day will probably go a really long way for Rizzo. So I wasn't upset when I saw that.
Yeah. No, I'm normally we would do like Rizzo homers the game before, and it's like, but it's against one of the toughest lefties in baseball. You're going double off day with it. Support that.
Yep. All right. Ready to give out some awards?
I think we are. And awards are brought to you by SeatGeek. Thank you so much to SeatGeek, a presenting sponsor for us. And just if you're a sports person, Jimmy's got the Rangers hat on. I got the Knicks hat on. BBD's got the Ball and Play Champs hat on. And SeatGeek's got tickets to most of those events. Not Ball and Play yet. But everything else. And if you use code YANKS10, you'll get 10% off any tickets at SeatGeek. So if you've used the app before, if you've already used it, whether you're a new customer or not, code YANKS10 is going to get you 10% off any SeatGeek tickets. So take out your phone, download the SeatGeek app, use code YANKS10. If you're going to go to something, use that, and you can save 10%. So there's a link in the description. Download the app. Green, good. Red, bad. You just learned how to use the app.
Hey. All right, first award we give out here, Talking Yanks, is
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the
Yeah.
Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
And I go first on Sundays for obvious reasons. And you know what I'm going to do, Jake?
Do it, baby.
I'm going to go to the big man, Aaron Judge.
Okay.
Worst to first. He had himself a phenomenal series. 500 batting average, 583 on base percentage, had a home run, stole a base. People forgetting about that. Got his walks. He had a hit in every game, I believe. 2 hits in the second game, 2 hits in the third game. And he looked good. The hits looked good. He opened up. There was one pitch up and in that he hit for like a double. That was crazy. So great base running by Soto on that play to get to third. Great read. But then the homer looked good. And then later on in game 3, he's in a 3-2 count against Skubal and kind of sits fastball again, gets the 97 fastball again, and hits a double. Same bat path, same flight as the home run, just didn't get it as far, but it was that same kind of swing and line. And it was like, okay, hey, not that kind of, to me was like, oh, twice. That's a consistent approach and timing for that pitch. So hopefully we keep going here, but it's a good series out of Judge.
Yeah. I mean, that first at bat after the controversial, non-controversial ejection, to kind of have one of the signature Judgian homers to right. And yeah, hey, 5 for 10, 583 on base this series. And that's where, again, we've had our gripes with the team, and Talking Yanks would be an awful podcast if we just said, long season, let's see. No, that's why we do the series, and you dive into what you think you're seeing. But it is pretty crazy to think that the Yankees are where they are record-wise without Judgy having kicked into gear, 23-13. So, yeah, go nuts. Be the player of the month of May. Why not?
I'm rooting for it. Also would like Soto or someone else.
Okay.
On the Yankees.
Any Yankee player preferred.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Who's your pride?
My pride of the Yankees, let me do a double check because I think I got it. I'm going to go Nestor Cortes Jr. Nestor goes 6.1, 2 earnies, 9 strikeouts today. Hammy lets him down a little bit. Could have been 0 earned, but Nestor runs out of steam at the end there. Nestor's been great this year. I think he's been the best Yankees starting pitcher. The ERA sits at 3.72 now. His couple early starts, he had a bad case of the first innings. And after today, all this talk about innings pitched, Nestor Cortes is second in Major League Baseball with 48.1 innings pitched. So a guy that, we kind of had wrote on in him as coin flips coming into the year. Nestor is getting it done for the Yanks so far.
Yeah, I love sending him out there for the 7th. The Yankees are bad at inherited runners, and they do it a lot. So I tweeted about that, like, hey, this is the problem when Hamilton comes out and gives up the 2 inherited runners, is the problem with having relief pitchers that just give up contact. And someone replied, also, that's why you can't throw Nestor for the 7th. And I was like, no, I totally was for it. So I was interested. What did you think? I mean, at the time, did you have any like, hey, call it
I don't think it was a decision.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I think. I think you have to send Nestor out there. He looked great.
Yeah. He got Canna 0-2. Canna kind of had a nice at bat and battled back. I think Nestor had one of his couple towards the end where he thought he deserved the strikeout and didn't get it. And then he strikes out Riley Green, who Riley Green's been one of the better players in baseball this year, and he made him look pretty bad today. And then Rogers, who I'm pretty sure is a good platoon guy, beats him to right field. But, yeah, I mean, Nestor, I don't know. We were feeling pretty good about the Yankees because they had a 2-0 lead. It allowed you to ignore that they went silent for 4 innings because Skubal locked in because Nestor was lights out.
He was getting funky too.
Yeah, a couple sidearm. That one probably should have got called. That was a nasty pitch. It was a big zone in general today, so I don't know. Nestor. I think you got a decent amount of calls.
Rain was coming.
Yeah.
Zone was a little big.
Yeah.
You had to make up for how much times they had to run and put fake dirt on the real dirt.
Get your dirt off my dirt.
Driveway wars.
10%.
It's a good commercial in between innings, like a 10-second cut. Get your dirt off my dirt. Driveway wars. Up next.
On this episode of Where's Your Property Start and End?
Yeah, property lines.
A good show.
Feuds.
People would watch that.
Honestly, you could make a show called Property Lines and like have reality show neighbor. I wouldn't watch it, but people would. They've made shows with worse.
Oh, dude. I mean, that's everything. It's property ownership, which is already a show itself. Yeah. People just getting irrationally mad over kind of nothing. Like, it's the perfect formula. And I mean,
going to town council and like getting the blueprints out and dividing it and then walking the line and like, changing fences. That's a great show.
Because literally 9 out of 10 times it's the person that's being more of an ass that at the end of the episode it's going to be like, no, dude, like you were very much wrong and they have this 5 feet of property. And it'd be like, oh. And then that one episode where the jerk was actually right, they'd be so like smug and happy. I'm in.
Yeah. It would be like, get your fence off my fence.
Is that Staten Island up?
Yeah.
There'd be a lot of episodes.
There'd be a lot of Staten Island if we're being honest. That's probably the first
I had to
spin-off.
tell my neighbor.
That's the first spin-off episode.
I threatened a fence on my neighbor like 2 years. We literally haven't talked since. When was that? A year and a half ago?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's James' first birthday. So I think it was a year and a half ago. It's the last thing we said to each other, me and my neighbor. It's like, I'll build a fence if that's fine. And he was like, no, I don't want you to build a fence. I'm like, all right.
End of episode.
And my wife's going to put her garden here. All right. MFer?
Oh.
You Yankee motherfucker.
Sweep MFer has always been a delicate and tough thing to figure out on the show.
Right.
But I got to stay true to myself. I'm going to go Brad Osmuth. I didn't see him at all. It's Rousen gets ejected pretty recently. Matt Blake is turning Weaver into a stud. Changed his motion to a slide step. Cutter. I just haven't heard a fucking thing.
Yeah.
What's Brad been doing?
I'm 1,000% with you, and I think at the end when we saw them go to rain delay, where Booney and Hinch did the handshake, like, "Hey, like let's all get out of here. Let's 1 hour, we're good." I think Booney made a business decision. He's like, I can't tell Brad that because he'll blow the cover. So now that we're having to make moves around Brad Osmus, I don't know. It makes you wonder.
I'm wondering. That's tough. It's his second of the year.
That's ugly. It's ugly business, but someone has to do that.
Yeah.
I think. Good one, Jim. Good one. I will go with Ryan Blakeney. He ejects Aaron Judge. That's our captain. He's Jeter 2.0.
I don't know if non-Yankees are allowed.
What are you talking about?
In the history of MFer, has anyone that isn't on the Yankees roster coaching staff or traveling?
I mean,
committee?
yeah, that's how deep does it go?
I think you need to get your checks from Steinbrenner.
Yeah, he did a spring training game this year before the season where the Yanks played for his services.
Okay.
So to ruin the captain's honor. Because now think about our offseason. What are we going to talk about all offseason? Should Judge hand the badge to Volpe? And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
So the fact Soto? Did you mean to say Soto when you said Volpe?
The fact that Ryan, some MFer named Ryan, would do that to the show. I don't know, man. I'm excited to see Bad Boy Judge, though.
It's a good ump, okay?
Sometimes.
I don't know his name. I know his face because he's all bald and like got.
Looks like a winner.
He looks kind of like
Oh,
a bad drawing of Cashman.
Oh, don't say that.
Wow.
That's the meanest thing said in the last 5 minutes. So Ryan, what's his name?
Blakeney.
Blakeney.
Okay. All right. Regular old awards.
Oh, and also COVID-19 did receive MFer looks like by Jimmy in 2021.
Deserved.
Admiral Doubleday received one.
Don't make
If
another
you disagree with that one, you're kind of anti-human.
Don't make a Ryan Blakeney joke. Don't make a Ryan Blakeney joke. The farmer's dog. Why don't you guys take care of your pooch? Like, honestly, it's kind of the responsibility of having a dog.
Was that your Ryan Blakeney joke?
No, it was going to be very distasteful. Unlike the tasteful farmer's dog. Farmer's dog is tasty because it's not that bad dog food. It's not kibble. It's not canned goo like Blakeney. It's real healthy food for your dog. Doesn't matter if they're young or they're older. I mean, your dog's going to live forever. So take care of their health with the farmersdog.com/Yanks. That's going to get you 50% off your first box plus free shipping. So go check it out. It's specifically for your dog. Noodle gets his big box bags with Noodle on them, pre-portioned. He loves seeing his name on his stuff. He's like very into himself. The farmersdog.com/Yanks. Get 50% off your first box and free shipping. The Farmer's Dog. Click the link in the description.
Blue Jays series in 2021. Abner Doubleday got MFer from you, and Jimmy O'Brien got it from me. So all's fair. I rescind my my query.
Yankees
You guys gave it
Entertainment.
to his set of fans in 22.
Okay.
Well, those fans were fucked up.
They were the ones that Miles strawed.
What were the fans singing during today's game? It was a very drunk rain delay crew.
The
They were singing. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you could hear it all broadcast. It was a classic song. Well, someone in the chat will have it.
I forget the name of that song.
I want you always forever.
I don't think so. We'll get it. What's your first
Hey baby.
award?
The Rest in Serious Peace Award.
Rest in Serious Peace.
Yeah.
Rest in Serious Peace Award. Rest in Serious Peace. Golly. Rizzo.
No, not Rizzo. Why'd you guess Rizzo?
Because he rested today.
Oh, no, it's actually it's a fakeronym. It's a fake acronym.
Okay, and we'll put an asterisk then.
No,
That's fine. We've got him for
a
reason.
I thought you were gonna get this one. To be honest,
The fake acro.
yeah, it's a fake acronym for RISP,
Right.
which is runners in scoring position.
Right.
And any pitcher that's got to face Giancarlo Stanton when there's runners in scoring position,
Was it Rest in
RIP.
Pieces?
it was Rest in Serious Peace.
Rest in Serious Peace. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're dead.
Yes.
Stan's awesome
Yeah.
with the runners in scoring position. These numbers don't even include game 3, but 320 batting average, 414 on base, 720 slugging, 1.134 OPS with runners in scoring position. Before today, they'll get better after today. 29 plate appearances, 8 hits, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 4 walks. It's good stuff.
It is good stuff. I was looking at the Yankees stat page today, and I was like, wow, Stanton. It's not a stat line you see a lot. Coming into today, 225, 283, not great. A 441 slugging, pretty good. 725 OPS, above league average. So, yeah, a little bizarre, but like we talk about a lot, be a threat or kind of what do you do here? And so if Stanton's going to bring it in the at-bats that matter, then all right, fire me up. It feels like a dangerous line to tiptoe. You'd still like to see a little more in the other times, but sure, man, he's here to drive in runs.
Yeah, they got to be in scoring position. Because if it's just men on, it's a guy on first base, that doesn't do much for him.
Okay.
Got a 192 batting average, men on. But 0 outs, no runners on. Crushing it. He actually does have great numbers when he leads off an inning. I talked about that recently. It's really weird.
Stanton.
But if there's a runner on first base, he's not into that at all, man.
Right.
He is 1 for 22.
He thinks a double play's coming.
It's in his head.
Yeah.
When he sees, oh, there's a runner on second base, he's into that.
Game on.
Big time. Yeah. So rest in serious peace to the pitchers who have to face Stanton with runners in scoring position. So RISP situation.
Great award, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Asterisk revoked, but then put back later to remind the people the story of the show.
It's one of 3 notes I have written on my notes app for the episode today. And I already used the first note.
Okay.
That means you've got 1 note left.
I got 1 note left.
So you're hoping I don't steal your award in this note?
No, I don't care if you do.
Oh,
If
okay.
you give this guy an award, I'll just read my note.
You'll read the note on that.
My first note was second sweep, 8th series win. I didn't want to flub those numbers.
Good note.
And then my next note, the bullet point says, rest in serious peace, RISP Stan.
It's good.
Thank you.
That's good. I'm going to give out the last year's Nasties award.
The last year's Nasties award.
Yeah.
Verdugo.
Why'd you guess that?
He bunted in that inning, and he makes catches in left field that are nice, and he fouled off like 20 pitches from Chafin, and it was just an at-bat that didn't happen last year. And his cleats are kind of standing out, but mostly he's part of the players that aren't doing the gross shit from last year. So that's why I guessed that. I don't know if it's right or not.
It's not.
Okay.
Which is okay. It's going to Marcus Stroman because he's got a little bit of what Nestor had last year. The third time through, he's just running out. And the stats back it up. Like the third time he's facing opponents in a game, they have a 310 batting average, a 429 on base, a 946 OPS. So, I don't know. The walks have been kind of wild to see. That's felt a little off. And yeah, his stats early on in the game, first through fourth innings are fine, but in the fifth and the sixth, he's getting hit. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how that manifests. With Nestor, it felt like a fatigue thing. Like we were with WBC and he was injured and missed spring training, and people were wondering if pitch clock was a factor. I think it was more so missing spring. With Stroman, I'm not sure. Like this is twice now he's been cruising and just loses it.
I have no idea either. At some point, do hitters be like, hey, they're lining up 2 feet away. Stop chasing. He throws a lot of intentional balls, but yeah, I don't know either. The walks aren't that surprising because he never attacks the strike zone. He's setting a guy up on the X-axis, pitches off the strike zone to swing and miss at them, which works. Third time through, our guy's just like, hey, make him come at you. And then they put it in play. I don't know. Really don't know. Is he suffering from no run support? I know they won late. Feels like the third game I remember being like, guys.
It's funny you said that. In my head, he's been like every year there's usually one that's the no run support guy.
I think it's him.
Let's see if I can see that.
You go to his game log, it'll show you.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
0, 2, 6.
Average
4.
is 5 runs. That seems good.
That's pretty good. But I mean, does that include when he's out of the game? Because like he was a 15-5 Milwaukee start, so that cooks the numbers a little bit.
That does.
Yeah, while he was in, he wasn't getting that.
I don't know.
He had 4.
The baseball savant isn't very pretty. The ground ball percentage and not getting hard hit is, and that's kind of his game. So
Yeah, I don't know either.
interested to see if there's a development on that.
Okay. My next award is the Who Needs to Be Talked About. It's a sweep. They swept them. Oh, you know what? I'll give the Approach Award.
Approach
Award.
Approach Award. It is gonna go to Gleyber Torres.
It is. Good guess. Why did you guess that, or did you know?
Well, I couldn't tell if it was positive or negative, and then I thought for Gleyber, maybe it's in between because there are some hits, but he hasn't been walking.
He still hasn't been walking because he's trying to figure out how to hit the ball.
Right.
So, you can't practice hitting if you're walking. I felt like he had an approach in this series.
Okay.
He went to, I'm trying to think, what were some of his hits? He had some 2-strike hits, I believe. Trying to think. Verdugo fouled off like 20 pitches from Chafin, and then Gleyber did the same thing where he fought off 2 or 3 with 2 strikes. And then did he get a hit on a curveball today? And yesterday, did he get a hit on 2-strike fastball or something like that? Trying to think. So he got a 2-strike changeup from Skubal today that he got a single on. And I thought that was a good 2-strike approach. That's what Gleyber used to do with 2 strikes. And okay, so the hit yesterday was a single on a slider. So I knew it was I remember it being an off speed. And it was a 2-0 slider. So usually sitting fastball 2-0. He wasn't sitting it, but he just kind of like stayed with it and hit it to right because that's what he used to be able to do. So it's not much of anything because it needs to roll and snowball so much bigger. But it was the first time I was watching him in a couple at bats the last 2 days, and I was like, he doesn't look completely lost like he did in the Baltimore series. Because I was watching those and I was like, whoa, this is not good. So maybe he just found a little approach here. And maybe that's, some precipitation becomes rain, becomes snow, falls on the ground, gathers, gets picked up, little kid's hands rolled around.
Is that a haiku?
That was 3 haikus.
It's really good, Jim. Yeah, his last at bat, as Beebs is my witness. You mentioned that Verdugo at bat where he lines out to Chafin. That was Chafin's last batter. They go to Lang with the bases loaded. A good relief pitcher. This is like Detroit's strength of their team. And Gleyber gives him a 9-pitch at bat, fouls 3 straight off, and then he drives one to right center field that I let out a little yeep to get down. I didn't think it had a chance to really get down. He just missed it, but you're right. That's what Gleyber Torres, when he's right, should look like.
His first hit, just to finish, it was also a 3-2 count with 2 strikes, and it says sinker here, but I just watched it. and it didn't look like that. Maybe it was out of the zone, but he was protecting. But he just went to right field with it. It was a nice sinker, actually, and that he goes to right for a single. So I just felt like his hits had a little like skill to them. You know, if Gleyber was going hot and his numbers were looking good and he had those hits on 2 strikes and on a 2-0 off speed, I would say, oh, look at that. Everything's going right for Gleyber. Stays with it. Stays hot. He's not. It has to amount to more. But it just felt like, okay, he's got an approach right now. That's good. Found something.
Like that. Respect that.
Your last and final award?
My last and final award will let's see. I'm between 2 guys right now. Who do I want to talk about more? You know what? I think I'm going to go with the well-blended award.
Well-blended award. The well-blended award is going to go to... Who have we not talked about that deserves an award? You know who deserves an award?
Okay.
Dennis Santana. I don't think you're going that way because you hate his guts.
I like Dennis.
Bet John Birdie.
Close. It's John Birdie brought the award up. It's going to Oswaldo. Oswaldo got the double today. That again was an inch away from a two RBI double. He hasn't been lighting things up since he lit things up. He got off to that crazy start where like it was him and Soto kind of carrying the team. But it's kind of, I mentioned this with Stanton 1 or 2 episodes ago that I was kind of like, hey, Stanton, you're not doing good or bad, and I'm not really feeling the effects of it too much. Oswaldo kind of the same. I feel like there hasn't been the point this year where I've been like, hey, you've been a problem, whether offensively or defensively. And watching John Birdie today, I was just going through like the whole start of the season of like, oh my God, we need another piece on the bench. Like, what are we going to do? Who are they going to get? And then seeing John Birdie play today, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's John Birdie. He's a major leaguer. Like, he had a really nice season last year. That, again, however you view Oswaldo Cabrera, like, his most likely profile is a really solid bench piece. Maybe he can catch on as a starter with the Yanks or somewhere else. We'll see. He's still young. But what you ask of a guy is to kind of blend in and not be a problem while a DJ or even Birdie is out, and he hasn't been that. So, the hit today is really the only highlight from his series, but on both sides of the ball.
I mean, he's a starting third baseman for the next 10 years, probably.
Maybe.
He's who my note's about. He's slugging .700 on pitches out of the zone this season, which is the best in the American League. So when he expands, he's driving the ball.
Yankees nightmare.
Kind of, but I think he's doing better because he's not like, he said, fuck it, I'm going to do me.
Yeah, and I think he's good. If he gets on top of a high ball, he can hit that well. And I think he can go the other way with balls well. Man.
Can I let you in on a theory I have that I don't even want to say, but then I like just talking honestly, like just 2 guys who talk baseball?
Sure, but just to close the Oswaldo loop, it would be pretty cool if for even the next 2 years, we come into the season with him being like the bench piece. And it's like, well, if X, Y, or Z goes down, Oswaldo could stick there for 3 weeks.
Yeah. I just think he's going to start next year.
He might. He's still young and idolizing Soto, but he has slowed down a decent amount.
Yeah. Well, I just think if they want to go get Soto, they're going to want as many homegrown arbitration contracts going, and he would fall into that lot. I have like I think the Yankees offense, sometimes I think they have real good tells on pitchers.
Mm.
And a lot of games come down to if they have a tell or not.
Okay.
And I have no reason. Like you said at game 2, they were all over the starter and all the relievers got him. And there's just been some times where like they just get eaten alive or they're so off. And other times they're just like perfectly sitting on these pitches. Now, every team has trying to decode it. And most of the times you can't. But sometimes when they're clicking, the biggest time I thought was the Milwaukee one. I think I said that on here. When Verdugo, Grisham, Soto all homered, all the lefties, you'll see Verdugo's eyes dart sometimes, or guy's eyes. So I don't know whose job it is to figure that out. Or today they were all darting down the third base line. So I don't know if the coaches have it, or this could be absolutely nothing. But like sometimes they're just all over a dude. You're like, why is that? How did that happen? For me, it scratches the like why their offense is so feast or famine sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive part of the game. They're like, yes, if you can do that right, you can kind of win a game, and it's a powerful thing. And with a ton of veterans, that comes with more veteran knowledge. I think that applies a little bit. I think the Tigers can pitch, man. They are 9th in starting pitching ERA, 4th in WHIP. They're 6th in bullpen ERA, 8th in WHIP. That's kind of how the Tigers are built. But I think we see it a lot. You talk about it when the Yankees see a pitcher they've seen a lot. Like, that's when they are at their most comfortable and clicking at the most. Right now, for me, they're set up for 2 big innings a game. And if they get one, they've got a solid chance to win. If they get both, they're going to blow you out. If they get neither, they're going to lose. And I just don't know how you can combat that right now.
Yeah, deeper lineup.
Yeah, because I think if everyone watched Texas in the playoffs last year, or why I rant and rave about the Orioles on Talkin' Baseball, like it just feels like every inning is that, where the Yankees, every inning does not feel that way.
No, game 2, everyone in that middle 5 got a hit, which was really cool. But currently, they don't have many righties that are going well. So like why they're not good against lefties is because I think Judge is the only threat to lefty pitchers, and he leads Major League Baseball in walks from lefty pitchers. So then it's Stanton, and I don't know if he's been doing anything against lefties yet.
I think so far this year it's been reverse splits with Stanton. Still small enough that can flip easily, but so far.
Versus lefties, he's got hit tool and nothing else. 265 batting average, but 286 on base and 353 slugging. So I thought that was, when I saw that Judge stat, I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like you need Volpe or
Gleyber Stanton. Gleyber Stanton is who it's supposed to be.
Yeah, or if Volpe's down in the order, him too. Versus lefties.
Hey, Trevi been balling. He hits lefties.
It's true. He does. Volpe's been better against lefties, but a lot of his stats come from early in the season.
Trevi, 308, 379, 918 OPS versus lefties.
Nice. Bat him in the middle.
Hype him up.
All right. Well, we got the Astros coming to town after a Monday off day where they don't travel. So the guys are going to be like, I don't know. That's a crazy nice off day for them.
Yeah, right. The Yankees were stoked to not use Clay Holmes today. Houston came back and then blew one today to lose 2 out of 3 to the Mariners. They are 12-22. They are 5 games back from Oakland. I'm interested to see. I know the Yankees do not think this way at all, but if they had a little bit of vim and vigor at the stadium to like actually help drive a stake through Houston's season, we'll see.
You think the DJ news, has Cashman so dour? Astros come to town. He goes over and says, well, you guys are out of it. Are you shopping Bregman yet?
Cashman has sent rude gifts to the Astros GM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Bregman and Presley?
Or he's asked his kids to draw like Bregman in a Yankees uniform on like the Instagram stories. So he can send that over.
You guys are dead and buried. Like Cash has sent over the deal. If we sweep you, your season's over. We'll take 2 out of 3 Verlander, Bregman, Presley. But now Verlander's owed a lot of money next year. I don't even know. I don't really want Bregman either. I'm just making a joke at the Astros expense. I'll take Presley. I don't care that he's been with the Astros before. I would take Presley in a heartbeat.
Both been struggling this year. They just need to change the scenery.
The Astros trading at the deadline is hilarious. If it happens. Same with Rosenthal had that article is Astros, Rays, Blue Jays, all like surprise traders. The Rays are going to get back on track.
You think so?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think they're both just going to hang around, which is enough.
I loved like the math on it. We're a quarter of the way to the deadline.
Yeah.
So if you want to, like, if the season for some people you have to decide to quit August 31st or no, July 31st, August 1st. When's the deadline this year?
August 1st or July 31st?
I thought it might have been like August 3rd or something.
MLB trade deadline.
Or earlier. Whatever. It was interesting thought paralysis because people are like, it's early. And they're like, well, it's a quarter of the way to the deadline.
July 30th because the season started 2 days early.
Yeah. So you're 1/4 of the way there. So if you're a team that's in the dumps right now.
Marlins just traded.
Yeah. But they're not even trying. Well, who's there? Tanner Scott. Let's go get him.
Yeah, if you're bullpen hunting, and I'm sure we'll have some midweeks on this coming up. Tanner Scott, Nardi are the 2 lefties out of their pen.
Scott's been getting saves, right?
Yeah, I think he gets treated as their closer.
Pick him up.
4.
He's a classic case. Usually gets a little wild. Matt Blake, he just calms you down, man.
We just need the skill.
Hey, leave that wildness in your rear view.
We'll refine the talent, okay? Look at the Weave Dog. Dude's a stud.
Weave Dog.
Thanks for listening. Subscribe. Tune into Bandwagon Blue Shirts because the Rangers just diced up the Hurricanes and embarrassed them. Storm in the forecast? No. Clear skies. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees! Let's go Yankees! Let's go Yankees! Let's go Yankees!
You able to just do